Hey YouTube, what's up? First, let me greet everybody. Oi to the bang. Gudag. Um, Kedu Bawani. Ni hao ma. Konnichiwa. Bonjour, mes amis. Hey, was ist los out there, out in Deutschland? Guten Tag. Um, and Sani Balnani and Jumbo Habayagani. Okay. And this is going to be an interesting video. There's a brother I would like to thank for one of the clips in here. All right. And again, I don't know if I could call him out. So if y'all leave something and y'all want me to check something out, if you can, do me this favor. If you would like for me to recognize you as the person that sent it, some people say don't recognize them. All right. Some people do stuff but want to remain anonymous. And I get that. Right, I really get that, so I respect that. But for those of you that wish to be known or don't care or think it's okay, just let me know when you send me stuff, just in case I use it, right? And so basically what he sent me was, I did a story about this a while back, right? But I've been meaning to tackle a couple of issues, but kind of got sidetracked about a lot of the by a lot of the news. All right. And so basically, this is what we have. A Israeli woman begs the black people, and by black people, I mean black American people. She wants the black American people to come back to Israel. All right. Um, the irony is, you got Ghana and a lot of other countries. They're asking for black American people to come back to Africa, to come back to Israel. Now, there was a brother that wrote an interesting thing, uh, an interesting comment, and what he wrote was, I think he wrote down scripture in Isaiah saying that the Most High will call us back, and what he's doing, he's waiting to be called back. And I think what he didn't understand was this: black people need a better quality of life and less risk, right? And that we have to get on our own, right? We're supposed to work towards that. We're supposed to be smart. The Most High gave us that. He gave us creativity and everything else. So if we want to find a wife, we can go to another country to get her. If we want to live a more peaceful life, we can go to another country to do that. All right. Now, in what he wrote to me, and for you, brother, I hope you see this video. This is where black people are not supposed to go back to. You understand? This is where we're not supposed to go back to until and unless the Most High call us to. Why? Because in what they did, right? You got, as you see here, the Star of David. That's one of them symbols that we're not supposed to be worshiping. All right. The Star of David belongs to a sovereign. What did I tell you about 1 Samuel 8th chapter, starting at verse 1? We were not supposed to have sovereigns. We were not supposed to have in Exodus, the first commandment, Exodus 20:1. He is the Most High that brought us out of the land of Misraim. We shall have no other mighty ones before his face. That's how it should be translated. He is Yahweh, our Elohim, which brought us out of the land of Misraim, out of the house of bondage or slavery. We should have no other mighty ones before his face. And the thing that's that I'm dealing with here is what is this animus towards black people, where some people are realizing, oh, there's about to be hell to pay, right? Everybody but the American black people, I mean, the American white people, the establishment in America. All right. The establishment in America is trying to eliminate black men. Why? Because you can control the seed through the woman. Why am I mentioning the seed of the woman, and why am I talking about traveling back to Israel and black people and stuff? There's a realization that is coming about that black people should have already realized in droves, but black people don't read the Bible, and I know they don't read the Bible and do any research for the reasons that you shall find out. So, y'all peep this.
Hi, shalom, shalom from Israel. This is Ola, the daughter of Jethro. And I just heard that you black people that was stolen from Africa to America, that you don't know who you are. But you are the children of Yahweh, the children of Israel. And I'm telling you, you have to come back to your homeland, here to Zion, to Jerusalem, because us the Gentiles, we do need you. We need you to come and pray, because you are our saviors. You the one that was chosen by Yahweh to live in this land, not the Jewish people, it's you. You were stolen from Africa, they deceived you, they told you that you are slaves, but you actually the children of Israel. And it's time just to come back. Come for your people, come back for us, come back for the whole Gentiles, because only you gonna save us. So please come back to Zion.
All right. Here's the problem with that. And let's get to this deception that she's talking about. Whoop, there it is. That's Solomon and Bathsheba. All right. That's Solomon and Bathsheba. That's the deception. But she's not the only one crying out for black Americans and black South Americans and black islanders to come back to some part of Africa. You understand? She's not the only one. And here's the problem, that without the black men places, there is really no blessings, right? You see how the police are killing us here, right? There's an all-out war. There's a reason for that, right? The black women here hate us. The sisters don't. All right? There is a reason for that. All these white people and Africans crying out for us to come back to that land. There's a reason for that. Everybody is starting to realize that stuff is going to hell in a handbasket, and the only fix for it is going to be us. I put up a scripture before that said the reason why we were chosen was that we were supposed to be the light to the world. Light through us, the black man. The black man that's the Israelite in the United States. Right? And for you ignorant fools that want to say something else, these are people over there in the land that know. And that's begging for us to come back. We're supposed to be the light. We're supposed to be the direction. That's why everybody follows us and not know why they follow us. That's why hip hop went everywhere, right? And exploded in all countries, to include the Asian countries and China and stuff. That's like when we start breakdancing and stuff and start doing our street dancing, it went everywhere. You know what I mean? Everything we did went everywhere. Everything we do go everywhere. The way we sing, the way we play music, our funk, our jazz. Do you know black people created every style of music in the United States, with the exception of country, and we probably created that too. And I'm going to explain this in a minute, but I want y'all to, as I explain something, I want you to take time to read this, and I'm going to explain what I have in colors, right? All right, so we created rock and roll. White people took that. We created jazz. White people took that and gave us Kenny G. All right. We created gospel, and then white people took that and gave us Sandy Patty. All right. Then what Kenny G did, he transformed real jazz, which was about spirit and feeling and eloquence and improvisation, to elevator music. Sandy Patty took gospel, the singing that put goosebumps on your arm. And now we got this soft stuff that can't be recognized as true black spiritual gospel. And it wasn't like we were singing the gospel about anything anyway. Had we had the knowledge then to sing to the real Most High, and that's what crying out is, taking that singing eloquence that we had back in the day, like old Richard Smallwood and Hawkins. All right, take all that corrupt gayness out of it, right? Start singing to the Most High instead of to Jesus, right? Until we're ready to do that in droves. I don't know, right? But people are concerned over there in Africa. Now, I wanted y'all to read this, and I'm going to start at the 14th verse, when the Most High is handing out punishment. And it says, Yahweh Elohim said to the serpent, because you have done this, you are cursed more than all the livestock and every beast of the field. On your belly you are to go and eat all the dust of your life. Right? Now, it doesn't mean that the serpent was livestock. All right. It may mean that the serpent was more than human being, and the Most High demoted him to below livestock. You understand? And what I mean by demoted below livestock is livestock is less than a free wild animal. In other words, he lowered the serpent to be under subjection and not free. Okay? And so on your belly you are to go and eat the dust all the days of your life. So that's not a literal, that's figurative, saying it seemed like he lowered the serpent to be lower than everything else. So low that insects are higher than the serpent. And what people don't understand is, because of the translations, there is a lot of stuff that got mixed up, and I'm going to explain in a minute, right? "15, I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. He shall crush your head, and you shall bruise his heel. All right. Now, enmity. We'll get to that in a minute. But the seed is fruit. All right. The woman this woman, like the other woman, they had two separate types of fruit coming out of her. She had the seed of the serpent coming out of her, and the seed of Adam, the man coming out of her. The man that was created by the Most High. All right. And so there would be hatred between the seed that she made with man and the seed that she made with the serpent. And for a while, brothers was trying to figure out what was the serpent. What was the serpent? It was apparently somebody that the woman could have sex with. The forbidden fruit that she was not supposed to touch was one of the fallen, and she bore a seed by that fallen one. A lot of people believe it to be Cain, which is why Cain knew how to murder Abel. And it also may explain why Cain's sacrifice was not accepted. Not because his sacrifice was inadequate, because the Most High accept fruit, right? But the sacrifice wasn't coming from a full-blooded man. All right? And Cain gave his best. Abel gave his best, right? But people get it mixed up. It wasn't because Cain gave fruit. He gave his best. But Cain wasn't fully a human being. And because of who his father was, none of his sacrifices was going to be accepted by the Most High. So Cain slew the woman. Cain slew Abel, excuse me. And there you have it, the enmity. That's where it started. And as you know, Cain was kicked out and nobody was allowed to put a mark on him. He found another wife and was producing children. All right, the woman got a couple more punishment. Sorrow in conception, children in pain, and the husband, the man, rules. That's RULE, rule over her. All right. Now, the name Hawa, the mother of all living, for what the man knew in the garden, right? Because he didn't have a name. He was still the man. For what he knew in the garden, Hawa had a seed from the fruit, and Hawa had a seed from the man. Bunch of seeds from the man. The seed that Hawa had from the fruit was going to always be enmity between the seed that came out of her that was created from the man. And when I say the fruit, I mean the forbidden fruit. All right. So when you look at the word seed, it's actually translated into your fruit and her fruit. All right. And they translated fruit to be fruit. Right. So she got the forbidden fruit and bore fruit from the forbidden fruit. And then she bore fruit from the man. which is how she becomes the mother of all living. And now all the fruit from the forbidden fruit is now at war and hatred and enmity with all the fruit that is from the man. Enmity, the state or feeling or being actively opposed or hostile to someone or something. Enmity between the black, now I put this here, between the black woman and a good black man. Did you ever wonder why black women and white men work together to destroy good black men? How it was so easy for the white women that I did a report on to get certain black women and get black women as a whole to go against black men and lie on black men, create Miss Magazine and put out falsehoods. That's hatred. That's enmity. Black women have enmity. They did that. Did you ever notice black men? How black men trying to get back in line with the commandments or trying to start business or trying to get out, branch out, do stuff, do something that he has in his spirit he knows will help him make it. How black women are the ones that's trying to drag us back or through back into the system, try to drag us under her rule, trying to warp our thought process. Do you ever understand how our biggest fight is with our own black women? We have to fight the black women to be men. The black women will like us because we're men, but then they'll turn around. They're like, you know what? I know you're the man and all, but you need to listen to me now that I'm with you. But before that, they was like, oh, I am a strong man, this, that, and the other. All right. Then once you get with them, you know, you cross those lines and stuff. Now she's like, she turned into something else. How come you don't listen to me? And I want you to do this. You need to do this the way I think. I need, no. Remember, I did a video where Abraham went to visit Ishmael, and Ishmael's wife was bad mouthing him and beating the children. And Abraham told her in code to tell her husband that he need to get rid of her. And when she told him the riddle, he kicked her butt to the curb. Black men, that's what we need to start doing. We don't need to have an enemy in our house. We don't need to have anybody in our house that will suck up our resources from what we know we're supposed to be doing. All right? These are the women that drag us through the white system. Right? And they do that so they can hold on to the white man's way of life. How do they grab us through the system? False rape charges, false battery or violence to them charges, child support, abortion, setting black men up to be killed or stolen from or beaten up by Pookie, Ray Ray, and Uwe and them. They have a desire to look white in order to be with a white man. That's why Scandal is so popular. That's why anything Rhonda Shine put out is popular among black women. They love debauchery and stuff like that. And the new thing, all right, these older women are going and getting 16, 17-year-old boys as their man. All right, if you look at these last slew of murders where the guy went to McDonald's and shot the woman in the head, he had to be 16 when he started messing with that woman, right? She gave him 3 children, took half his minimum wage money so that he's only living off of $50 a week. And at 21, he sees that he has no future, that he's going to be homeless, is because somebody is taking all, and he can't understand that at 21 because he was raised by a single woman, and she's not going to teach him not to be messing with them other woman because she's not going to teach him anything. He was out in the street anyway. So that's the new scam. All right, pay attention to this. Next video.
The downside of being outspoken is sometimes you get in trouble. I can relate because I've gotten into trouble over my career also.
Congratulations.
Yes, and thank you. I mean, when you have a big mouth, you're going to get in trouble. And my mother used to say, good luck with your mouth.
But that's called freedom.
It's called freedom of speech, and I use it every day.
And you pay the price.
You pay the price. Okay, and you did pay the price. Okay, so like those Israel remarks that you made, and I want people to see what it is we're talking about. So let's watch.
Any comments on Israel? We're asking everybody today. Any comments
Tell them
on
to
Israel?
get the hell out of Palestine.
Ooh. Any better comments on that?
Remember, these people are occupied, and it's their land. It's not German, it's not Poland.
So where should they go? What should they do?
They go home.
Where's the home?
Poland.
So the Jews,
Germany.
You think Jews go back to Poland and Germany?
And America and everywhere else.
So when you look at that, when I watched that and when I saw it in the first place, I thought to myself that that is an insensitive remark, that Poland and Germany are the exact places that the Jews were put into concentration camps, and that at the very, very least...
We fought World War II. I had two brothers, many relatives.
Right.
There hasn't been a persecution since World War II. You don't take other people's land.
But but you see the insensitivity of the remark that...
No, I didn't realize it would ring that many bells because they've been free ever since.
I know, but Germany and Poland, you didn't pick, Alaska. You picked Germany and Poland.
I should have said Russia, too.
Well, Russia had its share of anti-Semitic pogroms also, but...
They also had 25 million who died in World War II.
That's true. But I'm trying to...
More than that.
Yeah, so, I mean, Germany, Poland, Dachau, Auschwitz, we're talking about...
And the United States.
And the United States what?
I said he said, where should they go? I mean, they didn't have to go anywhere, really, because they weren't being persecuted anymore, but they were taking other people's land.
You're talking about the Israelis?
Of course.
Do you consider yourself anti-Semitic?
Hell no.
You do not?
I'm a Semite.
You're a Semite yourself?
Of Arab background.
Oh, I know, you're Lebanese background, right? But you're not Jewish.
Well, what does that mean?
Well, no, you say I'm just trying to clarify.
They're not Semites. I mean, most of them are from Europe.
The Jews?
Yes.
Well, okay, but I'm trying to see, if you had a chance to redo the comment, what would you say now?
Why do they have to go anywhere? They're not being persecuted anywhere.
The Israelis? Okay. Why do they have to go anywhere?
The Jews.
Well, the question was, any comments on Israel? That's what the question was. And you said, tell them to get the hell out of Palestine.
Right.
And then the rabbi who was interviewing you said, any better comments? And you said, remember, these people are occupied and it's their land, not Germany's, not Poland. So where should they go, he said. What should they do? And you said,
go home. Why do they have to go anywhere? They aren't being persecuted. They don't have the right to take other people's land. Under international law, occupied land should not be annexed.
But then maybe you should have said, I'm not putting words in your mouth, but maybe you should have said, well, the Israelis should stay in Israel, but you said they should go back to Poland and Germany. That's what got you in trouble, Helen.
He said, where should they go?
Yeah.
Well, maybe it did get me in trouble. Everything is distorted, but I don't care,
You don't care at this point?
No, hell no.
Okay. All right. Well, you got a lot of criticism for it. How did you deal with all of that criticism?
We have organized lobbyists in favor of Israel. You can't open your mouth. I can call the President of the United States anything in the book. But you say one thing about Israel and you're off limits.
Well, that's what happened to you. I mean, the Society of Professional Journalists retired the Helen Thomas Lifetime Achievement Award. They said no individual worthy of such honor should have to face this controversy. No honoree should have to decide if the possible backlash is worth being recognized for his or her contribution to journalism. Are you offended by that?
By what?
The fact that they will not give this award to anybody? in your name?
Well, I mean, that's their decision, but I think it's stupid. Has nothing to do with my views about Israel. My achievements in journalism are a little separate.
So you have no regrets about what you said, even though
I have regrets that everybody's misinterpreted it and distorted it. And you have the Ari Fleischer and Abe Foxman distorting everything. So I certainly knew that, and I should have kept my mouth shut, probably.
But you still don't feel that it was insensitive in any way?
No.
No.
I'm sensitive about the Palestinians being pushed around, knocked on the door at 3 o'clock in the morning. Get out of this house in 24 hours. 3 generations in refugee camps.
Okay.
Pushed from their homes.
I see. But you see the other side of it. The other side of it is that the Jews are sensitive because of the history that they have in the 20th
everybody's sensitive
century.
when they're being pushed out of their homes.
Well, but the 20th century was particularly cruel to the Jewish population.
Yes, it was.
In Europe, in Germany,
my
and Poland.
family went through World War II. We were very sensitive. All of us were there. Every American was there.
But did your family go to a concentration camp?
No.
No. Well, that's the difference. That's the point.
The difference is that count how many thousands of Palestinians are in jail now, thrown from their homes. 1 million refugees. Is that sensitive?
Everybody's got sensitivity points here.
Right. You're right.
Oh, she just made Joy on every point. She stuck Joy Behar on every point. All right. Now, insensitive. All right. Now, let's get some understanding. A little bit of background. This is going to be a little long, but y'all need to hear this. In World War I, Germany and Jews funded the Germans. All right. Now, Jews, they are from Germany, Poland, and Russia. That's why she told them to go back to Germany, Poland, and Russia. They're from the Khazar Mountains, but they had money. They funded the Germans, right? But they wanted a piece of Israel. They wanted Israel. And so basically, as they were funding the Germans, they went and made a deal with England and said, we can get the United States in the war of World War I, because England was about to lose. And they said, if you do this, you give us Israel. Right? And so England and the Jews made a pact behind the Germans' back. The Jews turned coat on the Germans, and that's why the Germans ended up hating the Jews. All right, so the Jews worked their magic. They went to the Congress and everything, somehow got America sucked into World War I, and America sends troops over to England at the behest of the Jewish people in the United States. All right, and so this is why there was such hatred from Germany, is because the Jewish people stabbed the German people in the backs during World War I. All right, now, Semites would be people of descent from Abraham, Isaac, Ishmael, and Jacob, which that does not include most of the people in Israel, not by DNA, not by anything else. They're more related to the Germans, Russians, and Polish. All right. And so when she said she was a Semite, right, and Joy Behar said, well, the Jews, and she said the Jews are not Semites. Now, she said the Israelis are Semites. She's like, the Jews are not Semites. So the Jews in Israel are not Semites, but you do have Semites in Israel. All right. So understand what she's saying, right? Now, remember Nasser, what he stated. And they asked him about peace in Time magazine. And when he was asked about peace in the Middle East, the late president of Egypt, Gamal Abdel Nasser, stated that the Jews will never be able to live here in peace because they left black but came back white. All right, which then goes into this. Now, remember, I'm telling you about the enmity between the fruit, the forbidden fruit that made it with Eve or Hawa and bore fruit, right? And then you had the fruit that came later that was of Ha-Adam. And he still had more wives than Eve, which means there were more than one woman there, more than one woman that was created and stuff like that. Eve was written about because she was a central figure in that the Most High was trying to just make an unvarnished vessel for an unvarnished man to create a full human being. All right. And so as a result of it, you still got half humans and full humans because of what Eve did. All right. Now, so we get into Songs of Solomon 1, 4, 5, and 6, right? And it says, draw me, we will run after thee. The king hath brought me into his chamber. We will be glad and rejoice in thee. We will remember thy love more than wine. The upright love thee. Son, 1 and 5. This is Solomon saying, so if you go 1 and 1, this is Solomon speaking. I am black, but comely. That means I'm black and beautiful. O daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon. Now, those tents in the black, those ladies and gentlemen are the tents of Kedar. Google tents of Kedar. That's how black that they are. That's how black Solomon was. So he wasn't light-skinned. He wasn't brown-skinned. He wasn't a red man. He was bliggity, bliggity, bliggity black. Like I am, because I need a snack. No, but he was black. That's how black he was. As the tents of Kedar. Those are the tents of Kedar. Because the sun has looked upon me, my mother's children were angry with me. They made me the keeper of the vineyards, but my own vineyards have I not kept. All right, but I want y'all to pay attention to that. That's why I put it in different colors, right? So, here's the okie doke. Remember Solomon and Sheba? So Hollywood been putting this forth that these are the Jewish people, right? But I did a video that black people are not Jewish. And Jews are not Shemitic. Right? So, and now the scriptures that I use kind of keep the names kind of intact, right? Draw night, draw me, we'll run after you. And so sovereign, remember, there should be no other mighty ones or sovereigns before the Most High. So that's when I'm saying we're not supposed to have a sovereign or a king. All right, so sovereign has brought you into the thing, right? And so this is what I want y'all to pay attention to. Instead of black, they translate it into dark, right? All right, and that's what a lot of new Bibles are doing, is because they don't want you to understand what he meant by black. So when the people in King James time translated, and in the time of England under the Bishop's Bible, the Geneva Bible, when they used the word black, they understood what the tents of Kedar looked like, and they looked at their color palette and they said, oh, that's black. Right? Now, by them using the word dark, right? If you don't go and look up what the tents of Kedar look like, you're going to think, oh, it's just somebody with a tan. All right. So if you see down in black at the bottom, Kedar, the dark-skinned grandson of Abraham. So, no, This is not the image of Solomon and Bathsheba. All right. Abraham's grandson, the second son of Ishmael, Genesis 25 and 31. He also founded the city that is mentioned in the scripture, right? Come from the Hebrew words meaning swarthy. All right, so swarthy means dark skinned. Now, here's the thing, and the thing you have to realize: if Abraham grandson is that dark, that means his father is that dark, which means that Abraham is also that dark. If Solomon is that dark, that means that David have to be that dark. David. All right, which then also mean that Bathsheba was that dark. And all of the women that produced David, Solomon, Abraham, and stuff like that. So basically, what you get is the bamboozle that this is what Israelites look like, and the women that the Israelite came from. Now, we already established that the men was bliggity, 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 black, as those tents, which means that for Solomon to come out the way he looked, there is no way on God's green earth that anybody in that food chain or that chain that produced those people, that king, those kings, the Israelites, nobody looked like this. As a matter of fact, they look more like this. You understand? That is the okie doke. That's the okie doke. They look more like this. So, the cracker food that y'all used to hear, y'all are used to, and y'all better pay attention. And when you see descriptive adjectives in the Bible, you better go on Google while Google still exists and look them up so that you could get a picture of what stuff look like. Down here to the bottom left, with the exception of the middle, that black outside, that's what Solomon says he looks like. He is black as the tents of Kedar. That's the bamboozle. That's the okie doke. My ladies and gentlemen, that's a cracker food. All right. And the blacker food is how they brainwash the black women into getting you to follow the white ethnicity of the Bible and not believing in stuff because her pastor didn't tell her this, right? But now, y'all understand the tents of Kedar. Look it up, Google it for yourself. They are that black, which means Solomon's skin was that black. Bruce is my man, but you can't confuse him for that tent. You understand? So, black men, we need to start standing on truth. And I see we're getting it together, right? The U.S. hates it is because that's the seed that's warring against us. That's the enmity. Those are the people that hate us. The white people over here. The people over in Israel, they've been close to, they have been close enough to understand what real is, and they don't like the judgment that's coming from them. And some of them have fear. All right, but the leadership do not, because they are the same part of the leadership that's in Europe and England, that's over here in the United States, that's in Portugal, all the people that were products of the slave trade. The African countries that participated in the slave trade, they are in fear. because they have realized that they're listening to. Think about it. Why are they right now? Why is everybody right now trying to get us to come back to Africa? Because the brothers have awakened here in the United States. We are getting right back in line with the commandments. Now, to you sisters out there, I would fear us brothers too, but not in a bad way. Not that we're going to do anything to you, but if you don't line up with us being the rulers over you, you're going to have to pay the same way the white man is going to have to pay in the United States when judgment comes. Oh, and all white people are not going to have to pay the same price, because some white people have woken up and understood that we are the chosen of the Most High. Not because we're better than everybody else, but because we're the light. We were chosen to be the light on purpose. All right. We didn't need no Holy Ghost to be cast down, because we always had the Spirit of the Most High in us. Why? Because we are the one true, pure human seed. And everybody that's not purely a human seed, meaning coming from Hawa and the man, first man we now know, now call Adam, but Adam means Adam, the man. All right. Everybody else is warring against us, because that's what the Most High said was going to happen in the garden. All because the woman slept with a fallen one. And she made fruit from his seed. And now 2 separate seeds came out of her. The seed from the fallen and the seed from man. And this is like the black women now that swirl. They would be the same one like Eve that would go for the seed for the fallen. All right, sisters, it's time for y'all to wake up too. And brothers are waking up. But, sisters, understand this, that you may have to suffer the same punishment that the white people are going to get around the world. Everybody that's ever did anything to the black man, they will have to suffer at the hands of the Most High. And to that brother out there, when I said black people, if we want to do better, black men, we might need to go somewhere else. I wasn't talking about running anywhere else. I'm saying we get to make a better life. Right? But when the Most High gathers us together, then we'll know that. And so you didn't pay attention to my videos, because I'm telling brothers to go seek out places anywhere. I'm not telling us to go there in droves. I'm not telling us to march into no wilderness. But I do wonder, why is it that everybody wants us to come back to Africa? And specifically the Black American and the islanders. The people that were a part of the slave trade. Now, brothers, that is something to think about. All right? And we should be thinking about it. For you sisters, this is my last warning to you. If you don't get right and come subject under us brothers, us right brothers that's trying to be righteous brothers, you are going to have hell to pay. You're going to pay at the hands of Pookie and Ray Ray or the white man. All right, it's time to leave the abomination alone called the Christian religion and get right with your righteous black man. That's not following the religion, but is acknowledging the commandments of the Most High and leading his house. With that said, I'm out.